So I was reading up about the movie in preparation for this review, and it turns out that Mel Gibson only cast two non-Australian actors in the movie. Vince Vaughn, who's American, and Andrew Garfield, who's British. And everyone else is
The
putting
British
on...
guy plays the American hero.
And pretty much everybody else
Is Australian.
is Australian and putting on American accents.
Huh.
So,
Hello, everybody, and what? You did that on purpose, didn't you? You're the worst.
Hey, it's a throwback. It's comedy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Working Title Productions. My name's Ben, his name is Ed, and we're here to bring you another episode of Movie Talk while Ed tries and epically fails to keep his composure together. Today, we've got another review for you, and this week... Shut up. And this week, we're bringing you Hacksaw Ridge. This is the World War II film about Private Desmond Doss. I'm not going to go into any more detail than that, because that's the plot of the movie. This is about his exploits on Hacksaw Ridge. And
Shocker.
the film is called Hacksaw Ridge, but this really isn't a film about Hacksaw Ridge, the battle. The battle is the backdrop for this guy, this Private Desmond Doss, who was a medic, and he refused to carry a rifle. He was a pacifist. He didn't believe in violence. He was a very, very devout Christian who followed his commandments very tightly. In the movie, they particularly focus on the sixth commandment, thou shalt not kill, and then the ultimate commandment by Jesus Christ, for those of you who are not Christians, love one another as I have loved you.
The new commandment, as it's known as.
The new commandment, sorry. What did I call it? The ultimate commandment?
Yeah.
The ultimate
The
commandment!
ultimate commandment. Gospel according to man.
I should literally do an entire gospel. But have like.
But it's like a
Bogan...
rock opera version.
No,
Hang on, that already exists.
like a Bogan Australian version,
Okay.
like Jackson always says he'll do, but it wouldn't work because he's not Bogan Australian enough.
Ooh, get dumped on Jackson.
Still love you, boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say rock opera, gospel of
Yeah,
Jesus'
no,
life, but then I was
that
like,
would
hang
be
on, that
really
already
good as well.
exists. Jesus Christ Superstar.
Of course, yeah. Totally does.
That's iffy for Christians.
Yeah,
Some people
definitely.
don't like it, but that's okay. I like it.
Veering back on course, what a segue. This film, for those of you that don't know, this is by Mel Gibson, and as Edward stated, there are a lot of Australian actors in this thing. Like, a lot. I find it really funny, but also just kind of like, that's an odd decision. That there's only one American in the entire film as an actor, and it's like, oh, okay. Isn't this about Americans fighting in the Second World War? I didn't realise that Mel Gibson had such free... I should have known, actually, that Mel Gibson had such free reign. The other big thing, Mel Gibson's other big fetish, other than just needlessly throwing in as many Australians as possible into his films, is that there's also as much violence as he can possibly fit into these films. There's so much violence.
I reckon he could have put more in.
Okay, you're right. He could have put more violence into this movie because it's World War II and there's some gruesome stuff that happened. But that said, like, when he shows you something, it's like, and there's a guy with spaghetti for legs. Alright. Hope you enjoyed that. Have fun not throwing up.
Yeah, I kind of like knew what I was getting myself into, but you were like kind of like, oh my god, the spaghetti legs, and I was almost like, do we need to leave this, Ben?
No.
Like I wasn't sure how bad it was going to get, so like.
It definitely took me a while to adjust. I knew. I'm like, this is a Mel Gibson movie. This is going to be really violent. And then I just walked in and I was just like, alright.
Yeah.
I really did not prepare myself for the fact that this is a Mel Gibson movie. This is a Mel Gibson movie. Gruesome and graphic does not begin to explain his style. If you've seen one of his movies, like if you've seen Passion of the Christ, if you've seen any of his smaller films, okay, not any of them, Mel Gibson's style is ultra violent, but in a very grounded and realistic and kind of horrific way. He'd be great at a horror movie if he just wanted to do blood and guts. A lot of that carries over here. Like, there are many, many shots in this film which feel like shots from a slasher horror film, but it's World War II, and he really brings that horror of the war to life, and he really makes you emphasize with this main character of Desmond Doss and the fact that He's not going to carry a rifle. He's not going to be able to save any of his fellow soldiers if they've got like a Japanese on top of them trying to stab them to death. He can't just pick up his rifle and shoot the dude on top of his soldiers so that they survive. He can't do that. He's not carrying the rifle. But the film really makes you emphasize with him. It doesn't ignore the fact that he can't actually take another life to save that person. He can only ever take injured people away. But it does make you understand where it's coming from. And you understand all of these characters' motivations really, really well. I want to stop talking for a second because my voice is getting sore and because I feel like I haven't let you speak yet.
That's alright. Yeah, the movie's really good. And obviously we're talking like a lot about
there.
fun. Yeah. There we go. Review over. Yeah, like, and obviously we've talked a lot about like how you feel about the characters and that sort of stuff, and how it's cool how they're portrayed and stuff, and especially because it's a movie about a really devout Christian. Christians get a very bad rap in movies these days, I feel like. So it's good to see a nice movie about a Christian. But even like the technical side of it is like amazing as well. Like it's really well shot. Like the way Gibson's able to use like lighting or lack of it, and then like smoke and stuff to either obscure and then reveal different things. It's just like really cool. And like it feels like a battle as well. Like we often hear about like the world wars like being like this like really scrappy and like just awful and like not very well organized and just like throw men at the enemy sort of thing. And that's exactly what it was like here. There was like nothing pretty about the tactics they were using. It was like, let's climb up this massive cliff face and see what happens.
Hopefully find a few holes in trenches, World War One style. Even though this is World War Two and everyone's throwing grenades and dropping bombs on each other. It's like, these tactics are really dumb. You're covered from a few gunshots, but they can easily run around to the side and shoot you from there. And then they can just... I feel like the team with the most grenades would have won the war. Like, honestly, just throw grenades in the other guy's trenches and you win.
Yeah, and the performances are all amazing as well. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Andrew Garfield is really good.
I feel like Andrew Garfield plays Americans more than he plays Englishmen at this point.
Yeah, probably. Like, I mean, that's the nature of the business.
Hollywood, yeah.
Anything. Yeah. Like he, like everything that he's given, he plays, really well. Like the cheesy idiot who's in love, he plays well. The
dorky cheesy idiot.
Yeah, the dorky cheesy idiot. And like the guy who's getting beaten up for his beliefs and all that sort of thing, and then eventually the guy, hang on, that's kind of a spoiler, but anyway, and then like eventually the guy trying to do his best out on the battlefield. Like it's all really good stuff from him. So yeah, and then everyone else is really good as well. Like Vince Vaughn probably brings his best performance ever.
I don't know about ever, because he has had a lot of really great sneaky roles that no one's ever seen him in.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
This is his best performance in a long time, and it's a reminder that Vince Vaughn can act. He's in a lot of garbage films, but the dude has the ability to act, and he really brings his A game in this film.
Yeah, considering how much of a comedy actor he is,
his ability to do drama.
Yeah, but even then, he brings comedy to this role as well, because some of his lines are amazing. Like, he feels like a proper army sergeant that's trying to like break these new recruits, and it is phenomenally hilarious.
Straight out of Full Metal Jacket. Is it Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket's a movie.
Yeah, the one with the screaming sergeant.
I think so. I haven't seen Full Metal Jacket.
I'm so bad with my war films.
And then everyone around them is good as well. Like, there's a specific other soldier who's kind of like a moral antagonist for Andrew Garfield's character, and he does a good job. I'm not sure who plays him, but he's pretty cool.
You're talking about Blondie, the first guy to beat him up?
Yeah.
Do you want to like pull up his name and I'll quickly say my spiel on him?
Yeah, good.
Sorry, I'm giving orders now. Yeah, there's this character. He's the first guy at the start of the film to really turn against Desmond Doss in his own battalion. He's the first guy that like really starts bullying him in a sense, for lack of a more sophisticated word. He's just trying to bully him out of this training barracks so that they can all just get on with their jobs and they can all get out of this without any extra punishment and any needless extra exercise, which is just going to wear them down and make them tired before they go off to war. So that just, he's the first guy that really starts giving shit to Desmond Doss, Andrew Garfield's character. And then off that, everybody else starts attacking Garfield. But then he's the one guy that kind of stops. You see it very, very early on. He's not against them doing what they're doing to him, but he's like, hey, I'm trying to sleep here. Can't you do this in the morning? And he just sort of, As the film progresses, he becomes less and less of like the antagonist. Like, I'm the guy that's here to make you give up your beliefs and your morals. And it's just like, I've got no idea why you're doing this, but look, whatever. You've done it. It's over now. But the point is that what Gibson does as a director, and I can't remember who wrote the script, but the script is excellent as well. And between these actors, everything just comes together to make really great characters. None of them are like just clear-cut cardboard ideals. They're all like real living people. You believe that all these people are acting the way they do for reasons. You believe that that guy will do that thing. You see a person change and you buy it because it feels very organic and it feels very real. Mel Gibson does that really well in this film, and it's such a wonderful thing to say.
Particularly the way that Sam Worthington's character...
Did I just say say instead of say? Sorry.
Oh, no.
I got a little tongue-tied.
Yeah, especially Sam Worthington's character arc and Vince Vaughn's character arc, which are similar arcs. But like the way that they portray that in slightly different ways is really cool. Just how they go from like completely doubting this guy to like this just like amazing deep respect.
He can do anything. He is the one to get us through this.
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. On that, while we're on Sam Worthington, I will quickly go over the next, because there are a few negatives in this film. Sam Worthington, for all the Australian actors who are in this movie and do a great job convincing you that they're American, Sam Worthington does not sound American for a second. He comes on the screen, you're like, oh, look, that's Sam Worthington. And for the rest of the movie, you're just like, oh, look, that's Sam Worthington. He never, ever convinces you that he's anything other than Sam Worthington. Maybe it's because he's just too big of a name at this point. He was in Terminator Salvation. He was in Avatar. But I never really buy him when he dives into a role. I can believe when Leonardo DiCaprio goes into a role. I believed Andrew Garfield was Desmond Doss. I didn't see Andrew Garfield. I saw Desmond Doss. I didn't see Vince Vaughn. I saw the sergeant training all of these kids trying to become soldiers. I saw Sam Worthington. Sorry, Sam. You do a great gruff voice. You're like the perfect guy to do some military officer. But at the end of the day, I wasn't convinced you were an American, and I weren't convinced you were even your role's name, because I can't remember the role of your character. All I remember is that you were Sam Worthington, and you sounded like that typical gruff Australian guy.
He was Captain something or other. Captain... Why is he so far down the thing?
I have no idea. Control F.
Must be by
Control
appearance.
F.
It's fine. I'm there.
Captain Glover.
Must be by appearance.
I couldn't remember the character's name was Captain Glover. All I was like, oh yeah, Sam Worthington's character. Yeah, him.
Do you remember what Vince Vaughn's character's name is without looking at the screen?
Nope. But I bought it. Like, he fell into the role. I didn't see Vince Vaughn. That's the point.
Yeah.
Or was it? Sergeant Howell. Damn it.
Yeah. Like, I kind of agree with Ben. I thought Sam Worthington was still good in the role. He
wasn't awful.
His accent was just like, it was just him.
Sam Worthington's there.
That's alright.
He's not bad, but he's not great either.
Yeah.
Every now and again, there were a lot of times where I was looking at the explosions of this movie, like, wow, are they practical effects explosions? A lot of them
Yeah.
are, but then every now and again there is like one explosion which has like CGI fire added on top of it to make it bigger. I'm like, wow, that's really fake. That
The flamethrower effects weren't amazing either.
no, they weren't. They were okay. The flamethrower ones didn't
They,
get me
they
as
were
much.
passable.
Every now and again there would be like an explosion that would come really close to the camera lens, and I'm just like, fire doesn't move like that. Explosions don't. And even beyond like the way it moved being wrong, I was just like, that doesn't even look like real fire in an explosion. The explosions in this film are really convincing. They're excellent. They're great. There's almost no complaint I can have about this movie. If anything, it felt longer than it was, but not in a bad way where it felt slow. It was like, oh, we only spent 2 hours in there? Wow. Mel Gibson crammed that much into a 2-hour movie. That's really impressive. That's really good. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Almost all of the acting is great. Almost all of the effects are great. Mel Gibson's shot composition and his cinematographers all did a great job, and just everyone involved in the technical aspect does either a perfectly sound job or an excellent job. Sound design is awesome. The score is very stripped back and bare bones, but it works very effectively. Just everything this film has done extremely well. Ed?
Yeah, I also want to give a shout out just quickly to, as my final point, to the movie for choosing to tell just a really small story. Because if you actually read more about Desmond Doss, there's actually some even more crazy stuff that happens to him after the Battle of Hacksaw Ridge, and they could have put that in there. That would have maybe made for good cinema, but at the same time, it was also so ridiculous you'd have a hard time believing it was real. Like, that's how insane it is. So, but yeah, it's cool that they chose to focus on this like one event that he is probably most well known for. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, so I'd never heard of him before this movie came out. Like, maybe Americans have.
Yeah.
Probably Americans have. They'd keep on top of their war heroes.
So yeah,
Excellent film. Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving.
Excellent job. We
Really
never
good,
even talked
yeah.
about Hugo Weaving. My God. Brings... I mean, he never really doesn't bring his A game, but he just so fully immerses himself into this character. And it's this great context to why Andrew Garfield's character, Desmond Doss, does what he does. An excellent film. I highly recommend that anyone and everyone go see it if they can handle the violence. That would be the only thing stopping you from going to see this, because this truly is an excellent film. It fires on all cylinders, and it just really, really... It's done what a lot of films have failed to do this year for me. It's just a wonderful story that's done on a big scale, but like never really loses sight of itself. Ed, what do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the worst segue ever.
There's
I'm sorry.
As Mel Gibson's returned to making movies with this movie, there's been a lot of talk of like, oh, Mel Gibson is a terrible person. Should we support artists who are terrible people but make good art?
I never heard it in the cinema world so much as among our friends. That's
Yeah,
what I heard
among
it
our
was.
friends as well, and
Cinephiles are like, it's Mel Gibson. He makes good movies.
yeah, exactly.
But then the general public, yes, continue.
I mean, I heard on a couple of podcasts as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but like everyone buys Kanye music and Drake music and things like that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they probably don't. They probably download it. Let's be real.
yeah, but still, like,
But
I
they
feel
make
like,
money.
but,
They
like,
make a
Mel
lot of money.
Gibson just makes really good movies, and his crimes aren't overly heinous. I feel
No.
like
He's done some
to the
shit.
point where they're not even crimes; they're just like bad
Yeah.
stuff to do.
Mel Gibson has done some shitty things. And if Mel Gibson is in an interview and he says something racist, don't share that interview. Don't give him attention for what he did in the interview. But when he makes a film like this, which is so wonderful and so excellent on every single level, that is when you give him your money and when you pay attention to him. Because it's not, I encourage Mel Gibson to do whatever Mel Gibson wants to do. It's, hey, Mel Gibson, I like it when you do this thing. Do more stuff like this. And if he makes a film which reflects his general shitty attitudes, then I would say don't go see it, don't encourage it. Don't encourage his behaviour like this. But this film doesn't encourage that behaviour. This film encourages good filmmaking excellent storytelling and a nice, confined, single, entertaining film, which teaches you a great lesson about life and about how to make films and just about how people should act together. It's a film in every sense of the word, and it is a good film. I highly recommend you go see Hacksaw Ridge. Go. Maybe don't take your friends, because you don't want to be talking in this film. You want to be watching this film. Buy all of the food at the theaters. I don't care how much money you pay. This is a good film and it's worth seeing. I highly recommend it.
Buy all the food at the theaters. What are you talking about?
Look, all I'm trying to say is don't be afraid to fork out your money for this film if you can handle the violence. It's excellent.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Look for the good in people. Go see it, because it's good.
11 out of 7. Go see it. Alrighty. Ed, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
Excellent. Well, that's all we've got time for here today. Thank you so much for watching the review. If you've made it this far, we thoroughly appreciate it. I know we kind of fell apart there at the end, and I apologize for that. That is largely my fault. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe and you can check out more of our stuff below. Below? No, don't check it out below. There's nothing below, I'm sorry. You can comment below. If you've seen the film, tell us what you thought. We'd love the conversation. I'm yet to really have a conversation with an audience member. Please, talk to me. You can also tweet to us. I am at BenjWaters01. He's at Edward Nowak.
Hello.
Made it nice and simple. You're still on camera. It's okay. We have a Facebook page you can check out as well. Facebook.com/.
A Facebook change?
Facebook change. I'm getting so tongue-tied today. A Facebook page you can check out as well. Facebook.com/working title YouTube. You can like that. You can share it if you want. We greatly appreciate that. Of course, you don't have to, but, we appreciate it. Please. That'd be nice. Thanks. As always, it's been great to have you watching the videos. Thank you so much for hanging around this long. And until next time, guys, have a good one.